coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
Well, a little bit of rain here turned into a whole lot of rain in St. Louis. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Emily Spain. Thanks so much for joining us today. Record-shattering rainfall caused flash flooding around the St. Louis area overnight and into this morning. Those heavy rains made for a difficult commute this morning, and you can see here, this is I-70. It's underwater, and it got so flooded an entire section of the interstate had to be shut down, and it didn't stop there, though. The National Weather Service reports more than 9 inches of rain fell in the city overnight, breaking a record set more than a century ago. Some of its suburbs saw even more than that, with more than 10 inches reported nearby. I-70 wasn't the only transportation route to see the flooding. Take a look at this Metrolink station near Forest Park. The train tracks looking more like a river this morning. Metro officials just posted on Twitter about 30 minutes ago that the damage may take at least 2 weeks to fix, if not longer. You can see just how fast some of the water was moving in the flash floods. Officials reporting this afternoon that 1 person has died due to the flooding. The Calumet Bay weather team says more rain is on the way to the area tonight. Rescue crews have been helping those who found themselves in submerged cars. A good reminder today to never try and drive through water over roads. Turn around, don't drown. Remember that phrase. The Red Cross has opened several emergency shelters to help displaced residents and their pets. Buses have also been made available to help residents relocate to safer areas. One woman says the flood washed away irreplaceable memories.
I'm just hoping and praying that things that are irreplaceable, like pictures of loved ones who have passed on, and that aren't on your cell phone. It's just photos of like Polaroids and whatnot. That stuff is gone.
The floods also affected power substations, with one going up in smoke. First responders arrived quickly to that scene. Lieutenant Governor Mike Kehoe has issued a state of emergency in the wake of the flooding. Governor Parson, who is on a trade mission in Europe, also issued a statement earlier today. He thanked first responders for their work and said state resources will be made available if needed, saying, quote, "The Missouri State Emergency Management Agency and Department of Public Safety are coordinating with local response agencies to provide additional assistance as needed to protect Missourians." And as mentioned before, more rain is in the forecast, expected to fall all across the state in the coming days. Meteorologist Matt Beckwith joins us now live from the Cole County Fair today. And Matt, what can you tell us about these floods and the more rain potential on the way?
Yeah, Emily, this was a significant flooding event. These showers and thunderstorms, they developed last night right around 9 o'clock. I noted that on our newscast on the CW, and those showers and storms continued through the rest of the night, and this ended up being what we call a 1,000-year event. Up to a foot of rain fell in some locations across the St. Louis suburbs. A 1,000-year weather event is a weather event that has a 0.1% chance of it happening in any given year. It statistically would only happen every 1,000 years. It doesn't actually play out that way, but it just goes to show you the significance of this event. 9 inches of rain fell in 24 hours, beating the previous daily calendar record rainfall rate of 7 inches. That took place in August of 1915 during the remnants of a hurricane. This was about 25% of the yearly rainfall itself in St. Louis. So we are going to continue to cover this. We're going to talk about how climate change is influencing this later tonight, and we're going to talk about more rain chances that are headed our way. That's coming up in just a few minutes, Emily.
A whole lot of water. Thanks, Matt. Well, if you visited the state capitol or other parts of downtown Jefferson City, you might have had trouble finding parking or just finding change to feed the meter. Calumet Bay's Steffi Roche joins us to tell us a plan designed to make parking there a little easier. Steffi.
Well, currently Jefferson City parking meters only accept change, but with this new proposal, one change could include the option of a parking mobile app. Here's a look at other potential changes.
We've determined that there is a shortfall of parking overall.
Jefferson City is looking at testing a new parking system downtown. The proposed changes would go from the Capitol to Adams Street. They would also affect parking around the Capitol and in the 100 block of Madison Street.
Most of those are currently a 2 hours parking zone. Some of it is 4, but we're thinking about increasing those to a 10-hour, basically all day.
This also brings new fees. Currently, it's about 25 cents an hour to park, but if that proposal is approved, it'll go to about $1 an hour to park.
That rate is comparable with our garage parking and for an all-day parking as well. Therefore, it would seem to be the most fair to have those two be in line with each other.
The proposal will be on the next council agenda on August 1st. And if the council decides to move forward with the proposal, members would vote on it at the second council meeting next month. In the studio, Steffi Roche, KMU8 News.
Well, MoDOT is looking for help maintaining Boone County's transportation system. There was a hiring fair today at the Columbia Maintenance Facility to help with worker shortages. One of the more glaring shortages has been the snowplow operator position. Last winter, Missouri was down several hundred employees. One engineer says they have not been able to make much progress in hiring since then, but hopes not to be in the same position this coming winter.
We got the roads cleared, but it took longer than it normally did. We've got X number of miles that we have to remove snow on. So if you are down on drivers, you're still going to get across that area. It's just simply going to take longer to do it.
He says he hopes hiring fairs like these will help fill those positions. You can find more information about maintenance positions and other MoDOT openings on our website, KOMU.com. If you happen to catch COVID-19 right now, it's likely the BA.5 variant. And the first week of July, 54% of COVID cases were BA.5, but now that's jumped to 84%. Experts say that number is up because this variant is better at infecting those with vaccines and boosters than other variants. Those who have had COVID before also have a higher risk of catching it again because BA.5 is just that good at getting around antibodies. As you scroll through Facebook, you may soon see fewer misinformation warnings on posts about COVID-19. Facebook has asked its parent company Meta if it should keep its pandemic policies where posts are flagged as false claims. An alternative would have false posts policed by Meta or by third-party fact checkers. The U.S. Department of Justice has a new page on its website designed to protect abortion rights under federal law. That page outlines how people can report dealing with threats or discrimination for seeking an abortion. This is the first action for the Reproductive Rights Task Force through the department since its creation. Kansas has become the first state to plan a vote related to abortion rights. Currently, abortion is legal in Kansas up to 20 weeks, but a proposed ballot issue could change that. Voters will see that proposal on the August ballot. A vote of yes means the voter wants to restrict abortion. A no means abortion would be kept legal. Kansas is one of the places Missourians can currently travel to get an abortion. Coming up, an American athlete back in court on the other side of the world. Plus, a large cash prize of mega proportions is at stake. We've got a preview of that drawing. But first, you're taking a live look over downtown Columbia. Your time is 5:07. There's Jesse Hall there in the background. You're watching KOMU8 News First at 5 coverage you can count on. Welcome back. The trial continues for WNBA star Brittany Griner. Griner has been detained in Russia since February after being accused of bringing illegal substances into the country. Griner had a hearing this morning outside of Moscow. Griner was arrested in February after Russian officials say they found cannabis oil in her luggage. Lawyers for Griner told Russian judges on July 15th that she was prescribed medical cannabis for, quote, severe chronic pain. A top U.S. embassy staffer was there with Griner at that hearing today.
During the time we were in the courtroom, as usual, we were able to spend time with Ms. Griner, talk to her, ask her about her welfare, and she confirms that she is doing okay and as well as can be expected under these circumstances.
Griner faces up to 10 years in prison on drug charges. Russia says it now plans to leave the International Space Station after 2024. That's according to information from a meeting between the newly appointed head of Russia's space agency and President Vladimir Putin. Leaders say after withdrawing from the ISS project, Russia will create its own space station. The Director General of the European Space Agency spoke about Russia's decision.
I'm not surprised because we do hear this kind of news regularly from Russia, especially after the invasion of Ukraine. But if you very carefully listen to what was said, it was saying that Russia will pull out of the space station after 2024. After 2024 could, in theory, also be 2030.
That announcement comes as Russia's war on Ukraine has deeply strained its relationship with the U.S. and Europe. Matt?
And we are live at the Cole County Fair, the Ferris wheel right behind me. We are cloudy, the wind blowing. It's pretty comfortable other than being a little humid. We'll talk about the forecast with rain chances through the rest of the week, plus talk about the fair coming up.
Former Hallsville Mayor Carl South is being remembered throughout the community after spending decades as an elected official in the town. South died Sunday at the age of 73. The state of Missouri employed him as a trucker before his career in public service. South spent 15 years as Hallsville's mayor in addition to 9 years on the Hallsville School Board. He was instrumental in bringing the town's only stoplight and improving infrastructure. South worked closely with now State Representative Sherry Tolshin-Reich, who says he was dedicated to bettering Hallsville.
Working with Carl closely on a weekly basis for 15 years, you get to know someone's character. And I think it's all about giving back to the community, being a public servant, and above all else, helping others and make the world a better place.
South is survived by his wife, Dorothy, 2 stepchildren, and 4 grandchildren. There will be a memorial service for South on Thursday in Hallsville. Here's what's happening right now. A 37-year-old woman has been charged with aggravated assault against a public servant after she opened fire at the Dallas Love Field Airport. She reportedly was upset about her marriage and started firing shots into the ceiling yesterday. Back here in mid-Missouri, it's that time of year when local fairs get underway, and you have all of this week to head out to the Cole County Fair. That's where we find meteorologist Matt Beckwith this afternoon. So, Matt, what's it like out there?
Yeah, Emily, it is a pretty comfortable evening here at the Cole County Fair. I'm joined by Allison Boggs, the entertainment chair for the fair. Allison, good to have you with us. Tell us what's happening here.
All right, tonight on the Extreme Body and Paint stage, we have the Rock Gods playing at 9 o'clock. In the Fletcher Performance and Paint Arena, we have the Truck and Tractor Pull. We have Eastern Missouri Truck and Tractor Pull and the Mid-America Tractor Pullers tonight.
And what other big events are happening through the week?
Tomorrow we're having Cooper Allen on the main stage. On Thursday we're having Tate Stevens and Ricochet. On Friday we have the Lax, and Saturday we have Eddie Montgomery of Montgomery Gentry.
All right, looking exciting. The weather looking a little bit rainy for all of that, but folks, you can come out here until when?
The fair goes until Saturday.
Until Saturday, and what about admission?
Admission today and tomorrow is $10. On Thursday through Saturday is $15, and we still have week-long passes available. They are $35, and we have some for sale in the fair office still.
All right, Allison Boggs, thank you so much. The weather here looking okay for this evening. The carnival happening behind us, the Ferris wheel, a couple of those rides, and we are good to go in terms of that weather for this evening. We're looking at cloudy skies across central Missouri, a few spot showers out there, but overall things are a lot drier than they were this morning, and certainly much drier than they were overnight. Temperatures have been kept largely pretty cool for much of central Missouri today. Only reaching the 70s for us in Columbia, Jefferson City, and to the north. That's due to the cloud cover and rain. Down towards the Lake of the Ozarks, it got warmer because of the sunshine. Those high temperatures reaching the 90s. So there is a big spread in temperatures across a relatively small area from about Highway 50 to the Lake of the Ozarks. Heading into the next several hours, we stay quiet for tonight, but after midnight, that's when those rain chances are going to start to ramp up again. You can see those showers and storms really developing along I-70 here by about 12:30. Those showers and storms do have the potential to produce some heavy rain. I think this rain event is going to be a little bit more to the south, and it does not look to be nearly as intense as what happened last night across parts of Audrain County, and certainly nothing like what happened in St. Louis. But if any of those areas do pick up any moderate to heavy downpours, there could be some flooding concerns there. So that's what we're going to have to watch. By 6:30 tomorrow morning, the activity is looking a lot lighter. Things will start to calm down. And as we continue that track into our Wednesday afternoon, we're actually going to see a lot of sunshine across the region. That sunshine going to help warm that temperature up to the 80s, and that's going to make everything a little bit cooler for us as well. At least in terms of the rain chances. That's really kept us cooler for the last few days. So 86, the high temperature for tomorrow. As we head into the overnight hours, Wednesday night into Thursday morning, by 5 a.m. Thursday, notice more showers and storms developing off to our west. Those will start to march to the east as we go through our Thursday morning. And once again, some moderate to heavy downpours going to be with us. And if those happen over the areas that saw flooding last night, we could see that reinvigorated once again. So that's what we're going to have to be watching. Really, we need a slow, steady rain just kind of spread out over several days. We don't need all of it to come at once. That doesn't fix a drought situation. It just goes from one disaster to another when you go from a drought to flash flooding. So we do still need the rain. By 8:30 a.m. or rather 8:30 p.m. on Thursday, we see that moving out. Widespread showers and storms, that moves out by the mid to late morning. By 4 o'clock on Friday, or rather 4 p.m. on Thursday, we're looking much drier. By early Friday morning, most of the activity going to be pushed to the south. Still some rain chances with us over the next several days. It's going to be hit and miss. Rainfall totals in some spots could be as high as 1 to 3 additional inches of rain. Other spots will see less than 1/10 of an inch of rain, and those rain chances going to stick with us all the way through the week. Friday looking drier, more rain chances into the weekend, and I think the pattern is going to continue to be with us, and it's going to be hot and dry. Tonight we're near 70 degrees. Tomorrow we're in the upper 80s. A lot of sunshine by the afternoon. We are going to see that temperature back as we go through the middle of next week in the lower to mid 80s, back into the 90s early next week. We'll continue to watch the forecast, and we'll have more from the Cole County Fair coming up.
Okay, thanks, Matt. Also coming up, it's play to win, but the payout could be a big payday.
Right now, my exclusive interview with Attorney General Merrick Garland, what he says about the investigation of the January 6th attack, all the mass shootings we've seen, and whether Americans should feel safe. Ahead on Nightly News.
Difficult times for the U.S. economy lately. July marks the third month consumer attitudes, intentions, and expectations have slipped. A research group's latest survey shows consumer confidence slipped about 2.5 points from June to July. Current business and labor conditions have also seen a decrease. Experts say interest rates and inflation are to blame for that. Well, the jackpot for tonight's Mega Millions drawing is now over $800 million and counting. Mega Million tickets are sold in 45 states as well as Washington, D.C. As the old adage goes, if you want to win, you got to play. The odds of winning the jackpot, though, are nearly 1 in 303 million. But the odds of making your $2 back is 1 in 37 million. So I got my tickets to the contest. How about you? We'll have one more final check of your forecast coming up next. Now here's a look we're following for KOMU8 News at 6 o'clock. Missouri's primary election is 1 week away. We'll have a breakdown of the candidates running to represent Missouri's 4th congressional district. Now let's send things back out to Matt at the Cole County Fair. Matt.
Hey, Emily. Conditions pretty comfortable. It's a little humid right now, but it's certainly manageable here at the Cole County Fair. Things pretty quiet right now, but lots of events happening, lots of rides behind me, the Ferris wheel going, whatever this ride is, it swings upside down, looks terrifying. That's going to off and on. Temperature is going to be pretty comfortable. Rain arrives after midnight. I'll have the latest track of tonight's rain coming up tonight at 5. Nightly News is coming up next. Thank you for joining us.